Get a drink, grab a seat, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who do not know, I am Katie Stone, and this is Stone's Second Sense. Now, most of you are probably used to seeing me in about 60-second clips, and personally, I think that's about as much Katie sass as most people can handle, but you guys asked in the comments to see longer videos. Some of you wanted more of this, so you did it to yourself. Now, without further ado, head on over, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share with a friend, and let's dive into this topic. Now, some of you probably already know Kamala Harris decided she wants to do away with the filibuster. She even said it on a radio interview the other day. So, I'm not even gonna try and make her sound a certain way because she does such a great job of that herself. So let's just hear her say it.
It is well within our reach to hold on to the majority in the Senate and take back the House. And so I would also emphasize that while the presidential election is extremely important and dispositive of where we go moving forward, it also is about what we need to do to hold on to the Senate and win seats in the House. That being said, I've been very clear. I think we should eliminate the filibuster for Roe, and we need and get us to the point where 51 votes would be what we need to actually put back in law the protections for reproductive freedom and for the ability of every person and every woman to make decisions about their own body and not have their government tell them what to do.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I did hear a little less of Kamala Harris and a little more of, well, this.
Dreams that you had you.
Anyways, the real reason is not Kamala Harris saying that she wants to gut the filibuster, because we already covered that on a short. The real big news here, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Manchin, ladies and gentlemen, won't, as in will not, endorse Harris over vow to gut filibuster to codify abortion rights. Shame on her, he said, and shame on her is correct. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a big one. Now, let's just dive in. Vice President Kamala Harris vowed to gut the Senate filibuster rule to pass a bill codifying abortion rights has cost her her endorsement from leading Senate moderate Joe Manchin. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that he is a moderate is huge, because you know what happens if we get rid of the filibuster? Whoever's in control of the Senate, whether it be Republicans or Democrats, pretty much can do whatever they want, and the other side doesn't have a say, which I'm sure is why Kamala wants to get rid of it, and that has a lot less to do with Roe versus Wade, but let's just continue. The West Virginia Independent, one of the staunchest defenders of the potent delay tactic in the Senate, told CNN on Tuesday that he wouldn't back her, as in would not, back her candidacy now, despite signaling earlier this month that he was getting ready to do so. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, that's a rough one. Shame on her, Manchin said, who is retiring at the end. Let me restart that. Shame on her, Manchin, who is retiring at year's end, said in the Capitol. She knows the filibuster is the holy grail of democracy. It's the one thing that keeps us talking and working together. If she gets rid of that, then this would be the House on steroids. Now, ladies and gentlemen, anyone else find it very interesting that the woman who's saying that everyone else but her is a threat to democracy, well, you know what he just said, the filibuster is the holy grail of democracy. Strange, is it not? Anyways, let's continue. Now, there are some really good quotes in here that I want you guys to see, and let's just dive into this. That ain't gonna happen, he said. Oh, I love it. It says, now that Harris has vowed to cut the filibuster on this issue, Manchin said he wouldn't back her for president. That ain't gonna happen. It is the most honorable thing, and that's one of the reasons that I fight so hard for the Second Amendment, is because it's part of the Constitution, it's part of the Bill of Rights, it's part of why our entire country was founded upon that, because we saw how crazy and terrible things went in the past when people and Americans and just humans didn't have the rights solidified. Now, yes, we are granted these rights by God the Almighty. They're just written on pieces of paper that are very important to solidify that these cannot be taken away from us because, well, they have been in so many other countries. Now, that's what sets America aside from everyone else. Manchin just isn't playing games, ladies and gentlemen. He is done. He's done. He's like, listen, if you think that you're going to come in here and take that away, you're not going to do it on my watch, and I'm not going to help you do it. And that's for sure. And that's one thing that I can respect out of this man. Now, listen to this one. This one really cracked me up. Now, Manchin, a former Democrat who registered, let me read that again, goodness gracious. Manchin, a former Democrat who registered as an independent earlier this year, said he still hasn't spoken to Harris despite his attempts to do so. Now, this one right here is really big. He was asked about Harris's past support for gutting the filibuster, and Manchin said, now this is huge, ladies and gentlemen. Well, she said she supported banning fracking too, and she changed that. I was hoping she would change this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, personally, I find that very humorous because there's so many things that she has said she was going to do in the past, like, mandatory gun confiscation, and now she's like, oh no, I'm not. And we all know that her values haven't changed. I mean, she's made it very clear her values haven't changed. But she's saying things that she thinks will help her get what's the word I'm looking for? She's saying things that she thinks will get her elected. As Bernie Sanders said, that's not my words, that's Bernie Sanders. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that he is bringing this up, and he's like, well, I mean, she said she supported fracking before, and now she says she changed that, so I was hoping she'd change on this too. Ladies and gentlemen, that is absolutely huge. He's noting it, everyone's noting it. If you still believe, like, most of the things that Kamala Harris says when she says she's changed her mind, let me rephrase that. When she said something when she was going, goodness gracious. Whew! When she said something before, and then now she's saying something else. If you believe what she's saying now, you might want to dig really deep, because she has said time and time again, her values haven't changed. And so many people, Bernie Sanders, have said she's just saying what she needs to say to get elected. So maybe if you are going to vote for her, listen, I want everyone to make their own educated decision. But if you are going to vote for her, maybe go back and listen to some of the things she ran on back in 2020 or attempted to run on in 2020, and just go through those. And if those don't make you feel warm and fuzzy inside, maybe consider not. It's your decision, but let's move on. Now, the entire thing that's going on right here is, you guys already saw this radio. I already showed that to you, but this is what's important here. So, getting rid of the filibuster, it says doing so would lower the threshold from 60 votes to a simple majority of 51 to advance legislation to protect abortion rights. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this, as I'm showing you right here, this has very little to do with actually abortion rights. I mean, yes, that's what she's saying, but we all know that if she gets rid of the filibuster, well, it's not going to just be used for this abortion thing. Like, we all know that's just the start. And for those of you who don't know, there's a lot of things that the filibuster have stood in the way of. Now, you guys already probably know that, but just in case you don't, check this out. This is from Brady, ladies and gentlemen. For decades, the filibuster has been used to prevent life-saving gun safety legislation from being passed in the U.S. Congress. Right there tells you everything you need to know. And yeah, sure, they use nice words like life-saving stuff, but we all know what they're saying is the filibuster has stood in the way of unconstitutional gun laws for years. Decades, even. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think this is something we should just do away with, because clearly that's not a good thing. And we all know, you guys know, I know, it's never a good sign when either the far left or the far right is fully in control. We already know what happens when that happens, all right? Good things don't always come out of that. Now, don't get me wrong. Just because I have opinions that line with certain things on one or the other does not mean that I completely want everyone else to be ignored. And, newsflash, the government is not supposed to run us. They are supposed to work for us. So, no. No, thank you. Now, if you want to read all of this, because I feel like I've been talking for a long time and I feel like you guys are probably tired of hearing me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to link all of it in the description box below, so go take a look at it, but I really want to know your opinions on this. Personally, I am even, listen, I'm telling you, this isn't good. It wouldn't even be good, personally. I don't think it would be good for anyone. The left's in control, they take over, they do whatever they want. The right comes back in, the right takes over, they undo all of it. Like, it's just a bunch of flip-flopping, but maybe that's what Harris wants. I mean, you saw how she's been acting on a lot of... Her values haven't changed. I don't even know why I was even going to say that. Her values haven't changed. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back up together. Ladies and gentlemen, I really want to know your thoughts on this. I know I was kind of all over the place because long form is not really something I'm 100% comfortable with. So I'm just curious, did I confuse all of you, or did you understand what I was saying? You just let me know down in the comments how you feel about it, and we'll go from there. Ladies and gentlemen, do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Seriously, don't forget to subscribe, because it's just very important that you can stay up to date, because it's a crazy world we live in, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot going on right now. So, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit the like button. And you guys have a great night.